Well, hello there and welcome to the channel. And in this video I'm going to be talking to you about the five mistakes that you'll wish to avoid when growing the spider lily, native to the tropical and subtropical regions around South America and the Caribbean. Plants from the genus Hymenocallis, which is just spider lilies, have been a bit of a rarity in recent years, although you may have been able to pick some up on specialist online retailers and possibly some of your more fancy garden centres. However, that has changed and your typical spider lily hybrids are becoming available more and more. In fact, I purchased these in my local Lidl's for £1.50 a pack, and that's not bad because usually you'd be paying an awful lot more. So let's get on with it. Assuming you've picked some up, assuming they've caught your eye and you're thinking, do you know what, I really want to grow those, well, I'll give you my top 5 mistakes, starting with this mistake, number 1.
Purchase your spider lily bulbs at the right time.
Indeed, your summer flowering pre-packed bulbs are going to turn up on display around about the beginning of March, and the temptation is of course to plant them up, and you should do, because the longer they are left in their bag the more likely they are to dry out, and that will affect the quality of your bulbs and your subsequent flowering display. Now, the mistake with this is that your Peruvian daffodils and your spider lilies are not a hardy plant, so you can't just stick them out in the ground, plant them as you would any other bulb and expect them to survive, because one hard frost and the chances are your bulb has been killed off. So to begin with, you will want to plant them as early as you can, but you have to plant them in a pot because you can't put them in the ground. And not only plant them in a pot, you can't even keep them in the greenhouse because it's going to be too cold. You need to keep these bulbs above 10 degrees Celsius, otherwise you may stop them from flowering. You may just put that plant in the dormancy and it won't do anything at all. So once you've put it on, you're going to have to bring it indoors under heat over 10 degrees Celsius. So that's no unheated greenhouse, that is no cold frame, and definitely do not plant them in the ground this early on.
Plant your spider lilies at the correct depth.
Yes, indeed. There are a couple of issues when it comes to planting. Let me show you. I'm going to choose this fantastic Sulphur Queen Peruvian daffodil, and this one is a good one to keep your eye out for, because this has a Royal Horticultural Society Award of Merit, which means it's been trialled and proven to be robust, well flowering. Although, don't forget, this is not a hardy bulb, so you can't just put it outside and leave it, as I've just mentioned in the other one. Right, so Peruvian daffodil.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously not a daffodil. What is it? What? It's
genus Hymenocallis, and daffodils are genus Narcissus. However, they are both from the Amaryllidaceae family, so they are closely related. In fact, I'm expecting when I open this up that the bulb will have some kind of characteristic of a daffodil. So, do you know what?
Look.
That's very daffodil-y, isn't it? That is really daffodil-y.
Oh, it does look like it, yeah.
Right, now, these many of the species of these in their native habitat do live in quite wet conditions, and that's not surprising because Caribbean, South America, they do get an awful lot of rain. So these will take a certain amount of watering, but we need to make sure that that water will drain away freely. So I'm going to make up my own compost. So let's start with that job first. So what I'm going to do a mix. Who put a hole like that in there? Oh, that's not right. Stick a little hand-sized hole. You open the bag properly. Oh, I don't know who to blame.
I don't know.
It was me. Now, if you are finding the information in this video useful or perhaps just mildly amusing and you'd like to pass it on, then by all means press the like button. It supports this channel immensely and helps us do what we do. Don't forget, you can also click onto the subscription button. Subscription is absolutely free and you can unsubscribe at any time, doesn't cost you anything. And if you want to be notified whenever we publish a new video, then all you need to do is click on that notification bell. Anyway, let's continue to find out what old Boiled Belt has to say.
It was me.
It was you. Right, so you want a compost that's very freeze rating. So I'm going to take a regular compost. This is actually my favourite one that I can find at the moment. So it's got added John Innes. Because so much of the compost nowadays is shocking.
It's shocking, isn't it?
Right, let's give myself something. To improve the drainage, you're going to add some grit, and I'm going to add some grit sand. So probably end up being about,
Okay.
I don't know, 20% extra grit, because there will be grit added to the compost mix as part of its formula.
Okay, so compost, grit and sand.
So give ourselves some space. So just got to mix it up. Right, so these. So we use this pot. There'll be a drainage hole in the bottom. But what I don't want to happen is when I'm watering, that compost is then leached down at the bottom and making a mess. So I'm going to put one crock in the bottom to cover it.
Okay.
You want to see that?
I do. Couldn't really see it. Sorry.
That's right. And then
Maybe put some.
a handful of grit in the base.
Right. Okay.
All to help with the drainage. So
What are you doing there? So let's get in there.
now with a daffodil,
Yes.
you would plant that approximately 3 times the depth of the bulb. So your bulb is definitely significantly below the surface. You don't do that with the spider lilies. With spider lilies, you have the...
I thought these were Peruvian daffodils.
Yeah, it's just a common name. Spider lily is also a common name, but it's all Hymenocallis. And with these, you...
Ah!
Oh, it's taking time.
So they're related.
You did just ask me.
No, I
They're
didn't
from the same
realise.
family, Amaryllidaceae.
Yes.
The genus Hymenocallis is a different genus to Narcissus, which is your daffodil. So they're distinctly different
but
genuses from different parts of the world.
Yeah, I didn't know Peruvian daffodils were spider lilies.
Yes.
That's the link I missed.
That's fine. That's fine. It's a good question to ask because other people may be confused. But rather than burying, so if that's the soil surface, you would bury that about there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Typically. With this, you leave the neck, which is the top bit, and the shoulders of the bulb above the soil level.
Like an amaryllis.
Which is the main mistake that people will make. They'll see that, and if they don't check, they'll just plant it under the ground, and chances are it's just going to rot. It could be too wet and rot.
Okay.
So, now, there's only 2 of these in the pack, so I purchased...
There's not many, is there?
No, so I purchased 2 packs.
Right.
And I also like to make sure that I've got like an inch from the top soil, sorry, from the top of the soil to the top of the pot. So when I come to watering, I have what is effectively like a small reservoir of water that can sink down.
Yeah.
Because, and I do keep seeing this, people potting plants up and having the the soil level at the same height as the pot.
Why
So
would you do that?
Well, I don't know why you
Because
do
you're crazy.
Because you water it and it just goes down the side of the pot. It won't actually go in the compost, or hardly any will. It's a terrible thing to do. So I'm happy with the soil level. And now all we're going to do is just sink the bottom half of this bulb in there.
Right, let's have a
And
look
that's
at that.
it.
So look at that.
Yeah. Do you wanna...
Okay. And
Well,
how long
yeah.
till I get some flowers? Is it be this summer?
They should flower this year.
Hey.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to water these in now.
Yep. Oh no, water.
And then-
water.
Water's in. And then these cannot
So it's
stay
good.
outside because they need to go inside in the warmth. They need to be above 10 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
So again, something that we mentioned just earlier.
Yeah.
So these are some of the mistakes. You need it to be very well
Okay.
drained. What's going on with the camera? The
What's-
camera's going weird. You need to be very well drained. You can't bury them, and you can't keep them below 10 degrees Celsius. So there you go. Any questions?
So I was walking around.
Are you messing about with it?
Oh,
We
sorry.
nearly finished. So there you have it. Any questions you would like to add to that, you're more than welcome to put those in the comments. But that is how you plant up your Hymenocallis
Easy
bulbs.
for you to say.
Also spider lilies and
Hey.
also Peruvian daffodil.
Yeah.
You can have as many common names as you like, just so long as everybody has the one scientific name.
Fabulous.
Managing dieback.
Yes, now the majority of bulbs, once they finish flowering, they will quickly die down and you won't see them again until the following spring. But it's a different case with your spider lilies. They're going to continue to flourish and grow and produce a load of leaf, and you want to try and encourage that. So especially over the summer, during periods of drought, don't forget to keep on watering them. They'll still need that. And also it's worthwhile giving them a good feed, perhaps a high potash feed to encourage better blooms come the spring. But the last thing you want to do is just forget about them so they go dormant, because they will just keep on growing. So there you go, don't forget about them, keep looking after them, keep maintaining them, because the more they can grow, the bigger the bulbs you'll get for next year's display. So you benefit all round.
Don't forget about your spider lilies after flowering.
Yeah, this is a good one. The tendency for most people is for when bulbs start to die back, you start cutting them because they look messy. And you can understand why, because who wants a load of old knackered leaves drying off looking brown and looking awful? It's not a very good display. So I can understand why people do it. But what you're doing is you're denying the bulb the resources that it's already invested into those leaves. So the sugars, the starches, the carbohydrates. Allowing it to die back naturally gives the plant the opportunity to draw in all those nutritions to build up its resources for next summer's flowering display. Now what I would say is that unless you are aiming to keep the seed to start sowing yourself, try and produce some more hybrids, what have you, then you can take those seed pods off, because otherwise you're just diverting energy from the bulb to produce the pods and the seeds inside. So other than that, just allow it to die back naturally. It's the best for the plant, and it's best for your next summer display of blooms, and they are fantastic, aren't they? They really are superb.
Overwintering spider lily bulbs.
Absolutely. And gardeners don't really talk about this, because when we generally talk about bulbs, we just leave the bulbs in the ground to overwinter naturally. But these Hymenocallis bulbs, they are subtropical, tropical. They will not tolerate being left outside over winter. They're just going to turn to mush and die. You'll lose the basal plate. The whole thing is ruined. So you're going to need to bring them in, and that's going to be a case of either lifting them out of the ground if you have planted them directly into the ground, or if you've kept them in pots, and bring the whole pot in. You could take them out of the pots, dry them off, put them somewhere, or just bring the pots. But whatever you do, you need to keep them above 10 degrees Celsius throughout the winter period. And I wouldn't bring them out until the overnight temperatures are around about the same sort of temperature. If you just keep them too cold, they could become susceptible to fungal infections. I've had some horrible things on bulbs where I've left them out too cold, so just don't do it. Bring them in. I'll be keeping them in the kitchen drawer if you want to know what I'm doing. Keep them in and then put them back out. Plant them up in the spring if you want to, but again, you've got to keep them in under protection over 10 degrees Celsius. So there you go. Those are my 5 mistakes for you to avoid when growing your spider lilies. I absolutely love these plants. Anyway, if you've got any other great advice that you would like to share with us, you're more than welcome to do so. Put those in the comment section, because I'm sure there's probably a few other mistakes that could be considered that I haven't actually added in this video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Goodbye. Right, now, just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck, because we have created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description, you can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. And enjoy these while I've still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.